Hey guys, we're going to be comparing the low light camera performance between the Nexus 5 and the iPhone 6. We're starting off with some 1080p video footage, but at the end of the video there are going to be some stills to take a look at as well. Now these were pretty extreme low light conditions actually. No flash was used on either device. It was around 10 PM at night and the only real light sources were the garden lights you can sometimes see. Both cameras were left to automatic mode. I didn't change any settings on either one. It looks like the Nexus 5 is letting in more surrounding light, probably due to a higher ISO level which is automatically set based on the light levels. For example, the background is brighter and more visible on the Nexus 5 footage, whereas it's not really that visible on the iPhone 6 footage. And as you can see here, the downside of that is when you have a light source in shot, you will get some overexposure and blooming, which the iPhone 6 handles a lot better. In terms of the clarity of the image, I think the iPhone 6 has the sharper image overall. I can tell you the Nexus 5 did struggle to focus on a fair few occasions, whereas the iPhone didn't really have that trouble. In this next image again, you'll see the background is lit up on the Nexus 5 footage, but the iPhone 6, while not letting quite as much light in, has the more natural looking image to me. This shot proved difficult for both cameras. The Nexus 5 isn't quite as sharp, especially around the leaves, and also the colours are a little bit washed out. The iPhone 6 is sharper, but the colours are a little bit too yellow, so not quite perfect on either one. In this case, the iPhone 6 does a really good job with the colour reproduction and light levels. The Nexus 5 blurs a few of the colours together and overall looks a little bit too saturated. So let's move on to the still images. Again, these were taken without a flash and settings were left to their defaults. The Nexus 5 definitely has the brighter image, but it again struggles with having a bright light source in the shot. The iPhone 6 on the other hand handles that a lot better and also produced the sharper image. Take a look at the dolphin for example. The edges are sharper and more defined on the iPhone 6 over the Nexus 5. In this case, the iPhone 6 looks a little bit washed out in comparison to the Nexus 5. I think the colours on the Nexus 5 in this image look very good. The iPhone 6 again seems to have the sharper image. If you take a look at the leaves or the flowers, you can definitely see that on the Nexus 5 they're a little bit blurred. The iPhone 6 of course still has some blur, but it doesn't look quite as heavy as the Nexus 5. In this case, the iPhone 6 looks a little more saturated than the previous image. The Nexus 5 in comparison is the brighter image, but again I think the iPhone 6 is sharper with more clearly defined edges. This shot I really like on the iPhone 6. Yes, you can't see the background like you can on the Nexus 5, but you don't get any streaking from the light source and also the leaves have more detail. So there you go guys, that's the low light comparison between the Nexus 5 and the iPhone 6. Let me know what you think in the comments. Peace out.